Sometimes we want all the flavor, but none of the work. Here's 1 hour of lazy recipes you're gonna love. I'm starting with lazy lasagna. We know that lasagna requires multiple pots and pans, lots of steps, and lots of time. I'm showing you the cheat code to lazy lasagna, and it's gonna be delicious. You could start this with Italian sausage, which has a lot of built-in flavor. I'm just using ground beef because that's what I always have on hand, and I'm just gonna add in a little onion. That's the extent of the prep. Now we build the whole thing on the stove. All right, so I'm just gonna start by sauteing my onion. Again, if you just wanna use Italian sausage here, you can skip this step. Since I'm just using the ground beef, I need to incorporate a little more flavor. So I'm just gonna get that a little bit softened and brown your ground beef. Lazy dinners are perfect for this time of year when we're really tired of cooking or we're cooking a ton on those holiday weekends, but your family still wants to eat during the week. This, I'm just gonna add in a little garlic powder because I'm being lazy. I don't feel like chopping garlic or peeling garlic. A little bit of salt and pepper. All right, so we just want this to get all browned and then we go in with our sauce. If you've got some grease, you can get it out with a little paper towel. You know I'm not about to dirty a strainer. I said it was a one-pan meal. All right, this is when the meal turns a little bit magical. For the sauce, I'm using a shortcut. I'm telling you, lazy dinners, we're not about to make our sauce from scratch. This is the time and place. I'm gonna add in about a third of this jar at this point. Just make sure it coats all of that meat. All right, you take your lasagna noodles and break them and then just kind of nestle them into the meat mixture. Okay, get your lasagna noodles in and then you pour the rest of the sauce over. I'm gonna rinse out the jar with about a third to a half cup of water. Spread this out. You wanna be sure the noodles are like covered. All right, then we just cover, reduce the heat to like a medium low and then let it go for about 20 minutes or so until those lasagna noodles are tender. You don't want this to be too hot or all that liquid's gonna evaporate out and those noodles are gonna kind of burn. You need it to go low and slow for a little bit just to tenderize those noodles and let it absorb some of that liquid. Just before we're done, we're gonna take some ricotta cheese, flavor it up a little bit of salt, pepper, and garlic powder. I mean, you could also throw in fresh basil or parsley if you want here. Just mix this together. All right, it's been about 25 minutes here, and you can see these have softened. Okay, but we're about there. They need a couple more minutes, but that will happen once I top it with the cheese. So I'm gonna go in with our seasoned ricotta and just kind of dollop it. Then go in with some shredded mozz and some grated pawn. All right, then we're just gonna let it finish. I'm gonna cover it, keep it on low, and let it go about 5 minutes. Look at this. I'm gonna add a little fresh parsley. And then you're gonna wanna let it sit for a couple minutes before you dig in, just so it can kind of come together a little bit. Now this one is more of a scoop situation and not a square situation, but the bites are still gonna be perfect. I mean, it works, it works. A little more parsley. Did not even break a sweat with this one. How does it taste? The lasagna noodles are actually cooked perfectly. They have like the slightest little bite to it, but there's so much creaminess with the sauce and the cheese that it makes for the perfect bite. Lazy lasagna is all about that slow Sunday flavor in a fraction of the time. All right, it doesn't get any lazier than this next trick. This is chicken Caesar bake. You can start with boneless, skinless chicken breast or thighs here. I'm doing the breast and I'm doing